obviously the minority side of the House, holding a press conference to address Ghanaians on fallout from what we've seen a couple of hours ago.
06, which is known as the Subscriber Identity Model Registration Regulations. It remains a wonder and worry why the minister will want to abandon LI 2006, which is specific to SIM registration, and rely on another legislative instrument, LI 2111. LI 2006, which is specifically for the creation of a national identification register, cannot be used as the enabling law for SIM registration in Ghana. It defies simple logic and any technical explanation. Let us be clear. When Parliament passes specific legislative instruments, these legislative instruments are not omnibus laws. They are specific legislations that have specific use and so cannot be taken for any. So, for example, you cannot take an LI for DVLA's operations and apply same to the operations of SNIT or the Bank of Ghana. Now let us explain what LI 2006 says in section 2. And I read, a network operator or service operator shall register a subscriber identity model, SIM, of a subscriber. It goes on to say that the registration must provide, the registrant must provide to the network operator. The things it asks the registrant to provide are the date of birth in the case of an individual, the date of incorporation in the case of a body corporate or company, the date of registration in the case of a partnership or unincorporated body of persons, and to show an identification document. This is what the law says. The law does not end there. In section 10 of that LI, it defines what an identification document is. And this is what it says. It gives 6 definitions for identification document. 1, a valid driver's license. 2, a valid national health insurance identification card. 3, a valid Ghanaian passport. 4, a valid Ghanaian voter's identification card. 5, a valid national identity card, or what we call the Ghana card. Or 6, any other valid form of identification document the minister may determine by publication in the Gazette. For the avoidance of any doubt, the 6 document types that have been stated in the law are acceptable for registration of SIM cards per the legislative instrument of Parliament. Only one of these cards can no longer be used by virtue of the court's ruling in the Abu Ramadan versus Electoral Commission case, which said that the national health insurance card is not a valid determinant of Ghanaian citizenship. However, a Ghanaian driver's license, a passport, a voter's ID card, or a national ID card, which we call the Ghana card, are legal and acceptable identification documents passed into law by the Parliament of Ghana. We are asking why the Minister for Communications and Digitalizations, through the NCA, is avoiding the use of the other 3 documents and insisting that we must use only the Ghana card. Ghana is governed by laws, and the respect for our laws and the respect for Parliament, which the Minister is a member of, is sacrosanct. Ghana's international standing as a beacon of digital growth and development is threatened by this policy incoherence between government agencies. The NIA, a state agency under the Ministry of Interior, is the sole body for the issuance of Ghana cards and has proven to be unable to meet the demands of Ghanaians who have made a request for the Ghana card. The NIA's operations are fraught with a lot of systemic challenges. We have grouped 5 of these challenges that the NIA faces. The first is persons whose cards have been missing and have gone to the NIA for replacement and are unable to get replacement cards. The second group is persons who registered since 2018 and whose cards have been printed but are in different locations. The third group of persons are persons who registered but have errors on their cards. These errors are either a wrong picture or a misspelled name, and the NIA is unable to correct those cards. The fourth group of persons are persons who have married or have had change of names, and those do not match with their Ghana cards that were issued and want new Ghana cards issued. And the last group of persons are persons attempting to deal with all the issues above and have gone to re-register, but the system has flagged them as double registration. All of these individuals are unable to access Ghana cards. Some of these persons have traveled the length and breadth of our country in the past 6 months and trying to get rectification of these challenges to no avail. If one state agency has failed, why would another state agency blame and punish the citizens of our republic for the failure of another state agency? All we can say is that we are aware of the myriad of issues across the regional and district capitals of our country facing operations of the NIA. In most NIA offices across the country, only 15 to 30 persons at the maximum are processed on a daily basis. As we speak to you, when you visit the NIA office in Ho, which is a regional office, the next available date to have your application processed is the end of August. In this case, how does a citizen of the Republic who lives in Ho get a Ghana card to be able to comply with the deadline of 31st July by the Ministry of Communications? The foregoing leads us to say that the Minister of Communications must, as a matter of urgency, rescind her position on this matter. This is because we have evidence of persons' inability to acquire the Ghana card and have resorted to using other people's Ghana cards to register their SIM cards. This in itself is counterproductive because this will lead to us having a database that is compromised, a database that has SIM cards that are not registered in the names of the persons who are holding them. And so the action by the minister to set an unrealistic timeline is compromising the validity of the database that is going to be put in place. The minister must exercise her administrative authority in a way that complies with Article 296 of the 1992 Constitution. And that says that the discretionary power must not be used in an arbitrary manner. The minister's actions are in flagrant disregard for Article 296 and seek to create a situation where telcos who have invested in infrastructure in Ghana will lose out on the very citizens for whom they have made the investment. How do we say we are making giant strides in digitalization if we are taking away the access and tool for the digital world from the hands of persons? We wish to unequivocally state as a minority caucus that we will resist using all lawful methods at our disposal any attempt to deprive our citizens and constituents the use of their SIM cards from the 1st of August because of this malicious, ill-intended, capricious, obnoxious, atrocious, and whimsical directive of the Minister of Communications and Digitalization. We as a caucus have engaged with the minister, but it appears that the minister is adamant in her ways and has decided not to listen to the sound voice of reason and the words of the stakeholders in the industry. We urge the regulator, the National Communications Authority, to show their competence and technical abilities by notifying the sector minister of the impropriety of her actions and directive. We also wish to assure the telecom companies operating in our jurisdiction that as a minority, we are concerned about their well-being and operations. For anything that affects their operations affects their workers who are our constituents. That the minority caucus will continue to use all means available to us in Parliament to ensure their operations are not affected by poor policy decisions taken by persons at the helms of affairs. In conclusion, we hope that within the next 24 to 48 hours, reason will apply. We want to use this means to call on His Excellency, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to instruct his Minister for Communications and Digitalizations to rescind her decision on the deadline as it holds potential national security implications for millions of Ghanaians who have not been able to, due to no fault of theirs, register their SIM cards. We urge the President and National Security Minister not to treat this issue with kid gloves and take cognizance of the brewing threat of terror and ensure that millions of Ghanaians who earn a living by the use of their SIM cards on a daily basis are not disenfranchised. We thank you so much for your patience and for listening to us.
Thank you very much. So if there are a few questions and concerns, we'll take them. But I think it's self-explanatory. I don't think there's
the question be anyone. So we are grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have you ended it?
It's very clear that the minority side there is unhappy about the deadline. The failure of the Communications Ministry to extend the deadline for the SIM card re-registration exercise. You had the ranking on the Communications Committee of Parliament. Sam George addressed the press there on some teething challenges confronting the process, for which the minority believes it poses some concerns, strict ones, to the issue of national security. The minority there asking for the extension of the deadline. We'll cross you over shortly to Parliament, where my colleague Kweku Asante has been monitoring developments there. Kweku, if you can hear me, it's been a very long day today. A lot of issues happening on the floor of the House, and also, when I stand at the House, is also rising. What more can you tell us? Well, we'll reconnect with Kweku Asante.